Instagram was pushing these posts that taught me purging, how to cut back on calories, how to work out excessively.
Instagram glorifies cutting, eating disorders, and unfortunately suicide, which is the #1 cause of death in our country and kids right now. Many social media companies do know that their products are harmful to kids, and they do use the fact that they're children and their brains aren't fully developed as an avenue to get them addicted to their product.
Okay, it's good to meet you both. I'm
too.
glad you're here, and I'm glad you're talking about this because it's really a big issue. Social media has become, and these devices have become, a part of our life, and they're not going to go away. Would you agree with that?
Oh, of course, definitely.
They're here to stay.
Yeah.
You got involved in this at 10 years old.
Yep.
You got Instagram, and you started pecking around on that.
Mm-hmm.
And it had what effect on you?
Well,
What do you think?
at first, I was just like all the other kids in my grade, getting a phone, hitting that age where you can finally get a phone and you can finally get social media. And even though the social media standards aren't until you're 13, you finally, at 10 years old, I was able to get a phone and contact my mom because my parents were divorced. And with this, with Instagram, I was able to connect to friends and connect to my family. So.
Well, you say finally. Is 10 too early?
Actually, I believe you were 12.
10, 11, 12.
Yeah,
sorry.
Is 12 too early?
Looking back now, absolutely. But the concept in mind of giving her a phone was to be able to speak with her every other week when she was in her dad's custody. So we found out that not always are we able to have service on the phone through a provider, but there's internet everywhere, even in the schools. So she could always contact me through Instagram Messenger.
Should they let kids even be on those things?
Absolutely. You cannot avoid this. It's a part of life, just like you said. They're not going anywhere, but they can absolutely do better in protecting the kids from this harmful material.
What type of accounts were you following at 12?
Mainly just my friends' accounts because at 12 years old, I wasn't, exactly sure of what was out there. I was also following famous individuals, like, people who I looked up to, my idols. At 12 years old, I was considered obese by my doctor. And hearing that, it kind of got to me. And at that point, I was like, I need to do better. I need to lose weight. I need to do things to get myself healthier, as I said at the moment. And that spiraled into me looking at healthy recipes, but then it eventually became more toxic. I was realizing, I wanted to lose as much weight as I can because these platforms were telling me that I needed to.
How long did it take her to go from size 6'8" to a 00?
It was probably a matter of 4 months.
Really?
Yes, and during puberty. So her body was she was going down to 32 beats a minute, bradycardia, very high potential for cardiac arrest. By the time that I finally got people to listen and got her admitted to Cincinnati Children's Hospital.
Did this go on a while before you noticed it?
We were aware, and we were in contact with her family physician. But unfortunately, in medicine, just on that level, they look at the BMI chart. So they look at, oh, she's this tall and she's this weight, so therefore she's fine.
Yeah.
And they didn't really pay attention to the obvious. But when I went ahead and basically said she passed out and took her to the ER at Cincinnati Children's, they admitted her up north within an hour. They knew right away what they were looking at.
Do you have a story or a question for me? Click the link in the description and tell me what in the world is going on.